And Cubs will fly to New York for a 6-game trip. New York and Pittsburgh coming up after today. This is the latest calendar date for an interleague contest since 2003, when Kansas City hosted Arizona on September 4th of that year. Did you win that game? You remember?
No, I don't.
We'll look it up. The second time the Cubs have hosted an interleague game on September 3rd. 97, they beat the Twins 10-6. Here's a White Sox lineup. Scott Podsednik leading off in center field. It's Gordon Beckham, a Rookie of the Year candidate, over in the AL, batting second. Przinsky, Konerko, Quinton in the middle. Chris Getz at second base, recently came off the DL. It's Alexei Ramirez at short. Dwayne Wise, who made that fantastic catch during the Mark Burley perfect game, in right. And Torres will bat for the first time in his major league career.
Hey, let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Ryan Dempster, brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Soriano, Fukudome, Bradley across the outfield today. Ramirez and Terrio will be on the left side of the infield. Jeff Baker at second. Jake Fox getting a start at first base in place of Derek Lee today. This is his most comfortable defensive position. Hopefully it'll work out well for Jake today. Coy Hill back behind the plate this afternoon for right-hander Ryan Dempster. Mentioned Dempster's last time out against the Mets. He went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits and 4 runs, but the offense scored 9 runs while he was in the ball game. Went on to an 11-4 victory against the Mets. You see his numbers on the season.
The umpiring crew is the same that we saw here in this Houston series. It just ended yesterday, so Eric Cooper is going to work the plate. And as we mentioned, Mark Burley with a no-hitter and then the perfect game. Both times Cooper was back there, so maybe some magic today for Ryan Dempster.
Well, I've told the story in the past. Eric Cooper ejected me from a ball game one time because I said his strike zone was as big as the earth. He calls an extremely large zone.
By the way, your Diamondbacks did beat the Royals on September 4th, 2003, 6-5 in 10 innings.
I thought so.
So it's Dempster against Podsednik, who's 5 for 15 against Ryan with 3 extra base hits. And we're underway. Ball 1. That's driven out into right center, and Fukudome is going to have to chase it down all the way to the wall. This has triple written all over it, but fortunately for the Cubs, the ball gets lodged in the ivy, and Fukudome put up his hand, so Chuck Merriweather will have to go out and check it out, and we'll see where Podsednik ends up. He stopped at third. I'm a little surprised Podsednik just didn't keep running to the plate.
Well, Jeff Cox, the third base coach, was waving him on home, but I think everybody is very clear that that ball is indeed lost in the ivy right there. And
I don't even think they're going to grab the ball.
Smart play by Kosuke Fukudome. After an initial really bad line, took a real shallow approach to that line drive into the gap, had to retreat all the way back to the vines, and that's absolutely the right thing to do, especially with the speedy Scott Podsednik running the bases. That was going to be an easy 3 for the White Sox leadoff hitter.
So instead, it's a double, and it brings up Gordon Beckham. The rookie had the game-ending RBI single against the Cubs on the south side on June 27th. The White Sox have won 3 of the first 5 of this season series, and that's pulled foul by Beckham to the seats. I think he's going to be around the major leagues for a long, long time.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. The question is, where is he going to settle in defensively? He looks like he's getting more and more comfortable at that third base position, even though he was a natural shortstop coming out of college.
Back to Dempster. He drops it. He has Podsednik hung up now between second and third. Beckham's going to try to get to second. The tag applied by Ramirez. Now Fox running Beckham to Baker, and he tags him out. Nicely done. Ramirez saw Beckham try to get that extra base, so he quickly tagged Podsednik, and 2 pickles and 2 outs.
Cue the Calliope music. Bring on the giraffes. What a circus on the bases here. Podsednik is hung up between second and third. And you'll notice as Ramirez is running him back, he's watching Beckham, and he realizes all I have to do is put a tag on here. We can get Beckham in a rundown as well. And not a great start here for the White Sox today, but good heads-up defense by the Cubs. That's because the clubhouses are so small. That's why they make base running mistakes.
Right. Low and outside to A.J. Przinsky. Well, Ozzie just came from the Metrodome. He hates that place, and he comes here to Wrigley Field. Not a big fan of this great ballpark.
Well, it's even better coming after the September 1st call-ups because the already cramped visitors clubhouse here at Wrigley Field has a few more occupants, so I'm sure they had a good time getting dressed in there this morning.
The 1-1 to Przinsky is swung on and missed. 1-2. Numbers for Przinsky. I think that home run was a game winner when Dempster was a Cubs closer. He came here at Wrigley Field a couple of years ago. He bounces just wide of first. That's a foul ball. If you just joined us, the reason Derek Lee is not in the lineup, his wife Christina gave birth to their second child, a boy. We do not have his name, but Derek out today after hitting the game-winning homer yesterday, and will join the team at some point in New York. Not sure if he'll be there for tomorrow night's game 1 or not. But hopefully everybody's doing well in the Lee household. Fox will step on first. A wild start. The White Sox did not score, and the Cubs are coming up. Here's Lou's Pepsi lineup.
Very
for
neatly
today's
lettered,
games
too.
Against the White Sox. Brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Fukudome, Terrio, Ramirez with excellent numbers against the White Sox. Bradley's had a big homestand. Fox at first, as we mentioned. Soriano, Baker, Hill, and Ryan Dempster, the pitcher.
Let's take a look at the White Sox defensively. Quentin, Podsednik, and Wise across the outfield this afternoon. Gordon Beckham over at third base has helped this White Sox team to 100 errors on the season. One of only 3 teams in the big leagues with 100 errors or more. Ramirez at short, gets at second. Konerko over at first base. A.J. Przinsky behind the plate today for right-hander Carlos Torres.
Looking for his first major league win facing the Cubs for the first time. Ball 1 to Kosuke. Born in Santa Cruz, California, went to Kansas State. Now lives in Manhattan, Kansas. The Little Apple. 1-2. Was the White Sox acquired Jake Peavy at the non-waiver deadline. He still has not pitched at this level and may not, depending on not only how he feels, but where the White Sox are in a couple of weeks. Been a pretty hot topic around town here the last few days. It's Ramirez. And he throws out Fukudome. The ankle injury suffered by Peavy was actually against the Cubs, but his comeback keeps getting slowed down. The latest setback, the right elbow bruise, got hit in a rehab outing. Jose Contreras struggling and eventually dealt to the Colorado Rockies. They do lead the American League with 69 quality starts. So really starting pitching hasn't been the problem, as you mentioned. Defense, and has not been a good base running team either. One strike on Ryan Theriot, back in the lineup after sitting out yesterday. That's low, 1-1.
You talk about the White Sox defense. They've allowed 64 unearned runs this season. That's number one in the American League. Obviously, that's 64 runs that should not have scored, but also as Theriot pops it right back to Torres on the mound trying to bunt for a base hit. And not only the runs that scored because of the error, but the extended innings, the number of pitchers that the pitchers have to throw to get through those innings has really taken its toll on the White Sox staff this year.
Here's Ramirez, who last year hit one of the big home runs in this all-time series, the bottom of the ninth against Scott Linebrink, the straightaway center. It's out of play, and this is his first game against the Sox this season. He was out with the left shoulder dislocation earlier. Looks like he will avoid surgery on that shoulder over the winter. Well, we say it every time we see the White Sox. A.J. Pierzynski always seems to do something where he's a little bit ahead of the game, and you saw the quick tag on Ramirez. Didn't want to wait to see if Mike Riley said he swung at it or not. Ground ball to Alexei Ramirez, and he throws out Aramis. And the Cubs go down 1-2-3. Off to the second. Nothing. This afternoon, and Scoreless tie as we get into the second inning. Konerko, Quentin, and Getz against veteran righty Ryan Dempster. First pitch swinging, and Konerko with a rainbow to center. Fukudome to catch, 1 out.
Hey, Cub fans, the 25th annual Cubs convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 15th, 16th, and 17th, 2010. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. For more information, as always, visit Cubs.com.
Sox and Cubs fans sitting side by side. Don't know if they're arm in arm necessarily. 0-1 to Carlos Quentin. 75 games this year. Just almost 2 months with the left foot injury. Fox in foul territory. And 2 quick ones. 3 pitches and 2 outs. Ryan Dempster's 5-2 at home, but an elevated 5.11 ERA. His last start he won 11-4. He was okay, 6 innings, 4 runs, but his team gave him a lot of support against the Mets.
And when Ryan has struggled this year, it's been with his command. Not only throwing pitches out of the strike zone to fall behind in the count, but making mistakes within the strike zone, leaving that sinker up, leaving some splitters up in the zone.
Behind in the count to the rookie Getz. That's a strike. A pitcher's one at that. It's 2-1. And a line shot base hit. Pushing Bradley over near the gap. Little slip, but no problem getting it back in. The Cubs as a staff, they've allowed just 1 unearned run the last 2 games. Last time they went 3 straight games without allowing an earned run. You have to go back to July of '92. Randy Wells and Ted Lilly. Not saying a whole lot right now.
Just soaking it all in. Definitely have to keep an eye. Oh, no.
It's away from Fox, and Getz will end up at second. It's an error on Jake.
Just about to say you have to keep an eye on Chris Getz over there at first base. 18 out of 20 in stolen base attempts this season. And this pickoff throw takes care of that. Jake Fox just looked like he never really saw that ball well from Ryan Dempster. Clanked off the thumb of his first baseman's mitt and rolls over near the stands on the first base side.
Long look by Dempster, gets a sign from Hill. Here he comes. Caught the outside corner. 0-1 to Ramirez. Game-winning hit yesterday. Final assist in the Burley perfect game earlier this season.
Well, the Cubs have a couple of players on offense that like to get up in the front of the batter's box. Alfonso Soriano and Jake Fox, to be specific. But watch Alexei Ramirez where he takes his position in that right-handed box. His back foot is right about in the middle of the plate. His front foot is almost on the front chalk line. Now, the good thing for him is he just picks up that front foot and pretty much sets it right back down in the same spot, because if he took much of a stride forward, he may be out of the batter's box.
Well, there have been comparisons made in terms of physical build between Ramirez and Alfonso Soriano. Now we can say similar batting styles, and that they really crowd the front of the box. That is going to get through and is going to allow the White Sox to take the lead. And boy, that error by Fox looming large. It's 1-0. It's a 60th RBI for Alexei Ramirez.
Well, not that the Cubs play gold glove caliber defense, but we thought the White Sox would be the team to kick it around in this quick one-game series here. But the one error the Cubs have made in the ballgame cost them dearly here at the top of the second inning.
So it brings up Dwayne Wise playing right. No Jermaine Dye today. No Alex Rios. Says a runner goes and is going to be easily thrown out. Ramirez nailed for the 5th time this year. Coy Hill over 40% in nailing base stealers. They get an unearned run. It's 1-0. Okay. An unearned run for the White Sox. They lead 1-0 in support of rookie righty Carlos Torres. He dealt a 1-2-3 first. Now facing Milton Bradley, who's hitting cleanup for the 2nd straight day. Swing and a miss. Bradley's 14 out of 33 on the homestand. He scored 11 runs. Torres working from the stretch with nobody on base. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Looks like a nice pitch right there for Carlos Torres. A cut fastball at 88 miles an hour. Started that one just off the outside corner of the plate. Cut back over the outer third.
Broken bat bouncer. Backhanded by Ramirez, and he couldn't get it out of his glove. And looks like everybody's going to be all right as that bat went flying over the dugout almost into the back section. In the middle section of the lower grandstand. That's an infield hit for Bradley. Another broken bat.
Yeah, and that barrel fortunately flew in an area where nobody was sitting. However, it is a tunnel that leads into the ballpark. If somebody would have happened to be walking up that tunnel, they'd get a rude surprise as the barrel of that bat just missed some of those kids down there sitting near the tunnel.
So the leadoff man is on, and it brings up Jake Fox. High in the air, Pasednik flipping down the shades, using his glove as well, and makes a catch. Hey, Cub fans, Len and Bob's Baseball blog has joined Chicago Now. From now on, you can find the same great content from Len and Bob's blog at chicagonow.com/Len and Bob, as well as WGNTV.com. I have a post today about a kind of a scoring quirk from the other night in our baseball bingo night. Game notes from our friends at Stats Inc. and much more. Once again, WGNTV.com or ChicagoNow.com. Have the Jonathan Taves rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game up there as well. Boy, baseball bingo night sure needed the ball getting lost in the ivy. We were a couple of days late. Had the 2 rundowns, the pickles.
Well, we've had 3 ball games since the bingo night, and I still don't have my card filled.
Soriano did not play yesterday. Got back in the lineup Tuesday after missing 3 games with a sore knee.
We talked about Alexei Ramirez and where he stands in that right-handed batter's box, and very similar to Alfonso Soriano. I think the biggest difference is Soriano is a little more spread out. He covers quite a bit of that box. You can see how far behind the plate he starts with his right foot, and his left foot gets way out there where Ramirez was. Ramirez started with his right foot very near the middle of the plate. He covers that box.
Up and in. 2-1. Konerko holds on the runner at first. Soriano ready. Torres, however, is going to toss over. Sednick again drifting back, and then again blocking that sun. I don't think the wind is going to completely prohibit guys from hitting home runs today, but it's going to make it tougher. I think you got to maybe not get under it quite as much.
The line drive swing is what's called for today. Some of the big power hitters in both these lineups can reach the bleachers even with the wind blowing in the way it is, but the line drive is the way to go.
Baker sprays it foul. Huge crowd on hand here today for this makeup. First game of the season series was rained out on June 16th. And Jeff Baker participating in this crosstown series for the first time. He was acquired on July 2nd. Rockies really didn't have a crosstown rival. They had a cross mountain range rival or two. Maybe the Mariners or Oakland. That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, when there is no natural rival like the Cubs and the Sox, or the Giants and the A's, or the Dodgers and the Angels, Mets, Yankees, those are very obvious rivals. Sometimes they have to be invented. The first few years of the Arizona Diamondbacks franchise, they were the natural rivals of the Detroit Tigers.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Well, you go with the tiger and the snake theme.
Yes.
Yeah, dangerous animals.
There had to be a reason.
Yeah. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the day for Torres. And the Cubs waste a leadoff single. They trail 1-0. Ryan Dempster to Dwayne Wise, strike one. Wise was at the dish when Ramirez was caught stealing to end the second. 1-0 White Sox. In terms of great catches during perfect games, does it get better than this?
I don't think so. This has got to be #1 on the list. You could see Burley's reaction. He thought he had lost it there, but Dwayne Wise refused to give up. Knocked it down from the top of the wall and ended up rolling on the warning track to make the catch.
He flies out to Bradley, and Carlos Torres will get his first major league plate appearance. I haven't seen this anywhere, Bob, but I'm going to assume that Ryan Dempster is the first pitcher in the history of this matchup, going back to when interleague play started, to make 3 starts in 1 year against the other team. The thought being, with 2 series per season, the most you could make would be 2. One and one. Ryan looking for his first win this year and his second career win against the Sox. A loss at Wrigley on the 17th and no decision on the 27th, both games in June. 1-2 to Torres. Haven't seen Ryan at the plate yet. I don't know if he'll still be wearing that new safer batting helmet. He tried out his last start. David Wright's wearing it, and all minor leaguers will have to wear it next year. So we'll get a look at it in New York at the very latest this weekend. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game and is brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Pasetnik led off the game with a double and got caught in a rundown on what ended up being a double play in the first inning. One and one the count. That was a slider. It was up a little bit, but apparently caught the plate, according to Eric Cooper, who has a rather large strike zone.
Yes, he does.
So pitchers should take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the hitters have to be a little more aggressive than they normally would be, knowing that it's going to be a big zone today.
Fastball that time and hit the other way by Pasetnik. He's 2 for 2. I think that's where Dempster wanted to put it, ahead in the count.
You see Coyhill slides onto the inside corner. That pitch straight out over the outer third of the plate and up a little bit. Pasetnik just guides it through that hole on the left side of the infield. And another stolen base threat over there at first. 25 out of 35 this season for Scott Pasetnik.
Beckham bats with a man on, 2 outs, and takes a strike. The Cubs have won back-to-back series for the first time since late July, taking 2 of 3 from the Mets and then from the Astros. So they've won their last 2 games as well, but haven't been able to pick up any ground. That's the problem with their predicament. Nice block by Hill.
That's a nice one, because that ball hit so far out in front of home plate. It will appear to be a breaking ball, and you're never quite sure which way it's going to bounce when it hits that dirt. You can see it kicked up chalk on the front of the batter's box there. Coy actually came up a little bit with the glove that time, left the 5-hole open, but fortunately the ball came up as well.
Bradley with a beat on it. And that's the inning. 2 outs, single, no runs. Bottom 3, 1-0 White Sox. We are bound and determined to find every pair of fans, one with a Sox shirt or jersey and the other with a Cubs Sox or, jersey or shirt. Looks like everybody's getting along. That's good to see. Coy Hill will start the last of the third. Basically, he's been playing every day here lately. 7 for 18 on the homestand. More importantly, what he's done behind the plate.
And we pointed out every day, and every day it seems like we add another number to the win column. 13 games over 500 when Coy Hill starts the game behind the plate for the Cubs this year.
No play for Beckham. Another day action around the majors. The Cardinals striking early again, 2-0. They lead Milwaukee in the bottom of the third. John Smoltz, 3 shutout innings to start that game. Manny Parra is pitching for Milwaukee. Julio Lugo with a home run. Smoltz's ERA right now is 0.64 with St. Louis.
Well, go figure. He was struggling to get people out in Boston. Change of scenery. We talk about it all the time. Sometimes it's just putting on a different uniform in a different clubhouse.
Brad Penny with the Giants. Fantastic debut.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Here's Dempster inside, ball 1. I think that's the new helmet right there.
Yeah. Looks a little bit like a hockey helmet with a bill on it.
S100, that's what they call it. Well, some guys have made jokes about how hideous it looks, but I don't think the idea is that it's supposed to look good. And you know what? David Wright, one of those guys who originally kind of joked, I'm not going to wear it. And then he got hit in the head with a pitch and quickly changed his tune. S100. And 100, I think, basically means it's supposed to be able to withstand a pitch up to 100 miles an hour. And I think the lesson here, Bob, and I'm not an expert in these things, but in order to have better protection, you need a bigger helmet, and that's what it looks like. Thinner and smaller is not better when it comes to that stuff. You try to protect your brain. 3-2 the count on Dempster. And a ground ball in the hole. Nice play by Ramirez, and he gets Dempster. Took a little bit of a tricky hop at the end, but he played it well. 2 down.
Ramirez showing his range going into that hole between third and short, and that last funny little hop forced him to almost go back behind his back with the backhanded play. Still able to stay with it and throw across to get Dempster.
I don't want to open a different can of worms, but do you think at some point in the next decade or two, pitchers are going to be required to wear helmets?
Wow, that's a good question.
I'm kind of surprised that topic hasn't been broached more often, considering how close they are to home plate and how vulnerable they are when the ball comes off the bat. I mean, other defenders, I don't think so, but well, you've got the base coaches wearing them now, and they're actually farther away from home plate than the pitcher is.
And you know what's, it's not funny, but it bears talking about. I talk to Ron Santo all the time about it, and Ronnie and I were pretty much in agreement. And Dusty Baker used to be of the same mind too, and Dusty was a great hitting coach long before he became a manager. I always felt like I could get my head out of the way of a pitch, regardless of how hard it was thrown. You always felt like you could get your head out of the way if necessary. Guys today throw so hard, and I mean not just one or two guys on a pitching staff. You're talking about 10 or 12 guys on the staff that almost all of them throw in the low to mid 90s, sometimes more than that. I think the pitchers are bigger, stronger, and throw harder nowadays. And with the schedule being what it is, there's going to be those day games after night games where your reaction time just isn't quite what it should be. And when you can't get out of the way of a 95 or 96 mile an hour fastball headed at your dome, appearances are going to be the least of your worries.
The 1-2 to Kosuke is low. Does Ron know there's a Sox fan right behind him in the radio booth?
Never thought I'd see the day.
Now, Ron did briefly play for the Sox right at the end of his career, but he's a Cub through and through as Kosuke picks up the Cubs' second hit of the afternoon.
Like he hit it out toward the end of the bat a little bit, but got enough of it to get it over the head of Ramirez into left center field for Scott Podsednik. 2-out base hit by Kosuke.
Terrio trying to get out of a slump, came in at 176 on the homestand and tried to bunt his way on and popped out to the pitcher in his first AB.
Well, I'll tell you, Len, most of last year and the year before, if you put Ryan Terrio in this situation, you could almost bank on the fact he was going to try to hit a ground ball through that right side of the infield. Had that natural inside-out swing.
Slowed down by Torres. He's going to throw and get Terrio by a full step. Terrio could not beat it out. 2-out single, no runs. We've completed 3. Sox and Cubs from Wrigley, and the visitors lead 1-0. One ball, no strikes on A.J. Pierzynski. We're underway in the fourth. White Sox with an unearned run in the second. It's been it for the scoring to this point. Now we're ready to go. Second pitch of the at bat, fouled back. I want to send out get well wishes to Don Malcolm, who's recovering at Northwestern Hospital here in Chicago. Kids Laura, Karen, and Donnie thinking about you. Hope you're feeling better, Don. Hold on the ground to Jake Fox. He'll take it unassisted for the out.
Hey fans, tickets are still available for Cubs games this season, including bleacher seats. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
Bob, we also want to send out best wishes to our good friend and my broadcasting hero, Ernie Harwell, a Hall of Famer, longtime voice of the Detroit Tigers, who's recovering from a health issue in Detroit. And Ernie, we hope you're feeling better.
Well, one of the great gentlemen I've ever met in this game.
I saw Ernie in Detroit, 91 years old, and he looked great. And we don't want to forget about his lovely wife, Miss Lulu Harwell, as well. 0-2 on Paul Konerko, who flied to center in his first at bat. Dempster's pitch. He struck him out. It's 2 for Ryan, both coming in the last 2 innings.
A perfect example of what we call expanding the strike zone. Throw those strikes on the corner of the plate, and then when you get ahead in the count, move it off the plate a little bit further. That time the slider bounced in the dirt. Konerko chased a bad pitch for strike 3. When the hitter's behind in the count, you're almost forced to expand that zone a little bit. If you see that ball out of the pitcher's hand and it looks like it's going to be close to the corner, you have no choice but to offer at it.
Fastball kind of close to the dome of Carlos Quentin.
Won't bother him a bit. He's used to getting hit by a pitch.
Oh, you're right.
Boy, throughout his minor league career, he got hit on average once every 10 at-bats. Had a season of 43 hit by pitches in the minor leagues.
And the next pitch, he rolls it into left. Last year, he had a major league record 6-game hit by pitch streak.
That's the kind of streak you don't really care for. But I think it just illustrates the fact that Carlos Quentin takes his spot in that batter's box, and he's not going to give. If a pitcher's going to work him inside off the plate, he'll take it off that left arm or off the back and just run on down to first base.
Brings up Getz. Strike 1. It's been a very tightly contested all-time series. White Sox have won 36 times, the Cubs 35 since 1997. Cubs are 20-15 here, 15-21 on the south side.
Well, Coy Hill's been busy today. Another real good block on a pitch way out in front of home plate. That time he really stayed down well, centered it up in that chest protector, dropped right down in front.
One on the way, a little bit outside. The Tigers are leading the Indians late, 3-0 in the 8th inning. Nate Robertson, 6 shutout innings in a start for Detroit. Fausto Carmona went into the 7th, gave up 3. Curtis Granderson with a leadoff homer for Detroit in that one. chop to Baker, who charges it and gets the out at first. Midway in the fourth, White Sox 1, Cubs nothing. Hey, Cubs fans, when you're at Wrigley, make sure to buy a bottle of ice cold Pepsi or Diet Pepsi from a vendor. Then check for the Cubs Win sticker under the bottle for your chance to win an overnight stay at the Abbey Resort and Avani Spa in Lake Geneva at Fontana, Wisconsin. Make sure to buy from your Pepsi vendor for your chance to win with Pepsi and the Abbey Resort as Aramis Ramirez gets hit. And remember, Dempster went up and over on a fastball to Quentin earlier. Now, rode in on him. Worry about those hands, though.
Yeah, it looked like it was a glancing blow down the left forearm of Aramis Ramirez. It didn't appear to catch him flush on the back of the hand, which would always be a lot more painful and cause a lot more damage because your hand is wrapped tightly around that bat. There's just no give.
Well, just spicing it up a little bit, I guess. I don't think any warnings have been issued. Bradley, it's a fly to left on the first pitch.
Trouble.
Quentin is there. One away. It'll bring up Jake Fox, who has had one great game on this homestand. Had the grand slam, knocked in 5 on Saturday against the Mets. But other than that, been pretty quiet. He's 2 for 21. Both hits coming that day. Nicely done by that Cubs fan. Adding a different color to the Cubs logo.
You talk about Jake Fox's struggles recently. We talked about it in yesterday's ball game. He has seen a steady diet of breaking pitches, both slow curveballs and hard sliders off the outside corner of the plate. Got a first pitch fastball that time from Torres and fouled it away.
Driven into the gap. Ramirez is going to make the turn on his way to third. Posednik's going to throw to second. They're at the corners with only 1 out.
Aramis Ramirez pretty much determined he's going to run right in the face of Scott Posednik, who was moving to his right toward his throwing lane to third base, but thought better of it, threw back into the middle of the diamond to keep the double play in order. Well, sometimes when you get punked by a pitch, you find a little energy reserve you didn't know you had.
See if Soriano can get Ramirez in. With the Cubs trailing by a run. Fox with it. Much of a lead at first. They'll try to figure out a way to break up a double play ball. If in fact Soriano hits a ground ball. The 1-1 on the way. Boy, Soriano wanted to do more with that pitch. He rarely reacts like that.
He got a pitch he was looking for, down and out over the plate where he could extend his arms and drop the head of that big bat on it. Just got underneath it a little bit too much, fouled it back to the backstop.
We mentioned this is Torres' third start, the first one away from U.S. Cellular Field. Swing and the miss. Big strikeout of Soriano. And with 2 outs, it'll be Jeff Baker. Cub fans getting on there, guys.
It could be some White Sox fans getting on. Fonzie from our Southwest Sky Cam. Little slider down over the heart of the plate. Soriano swings right over the top.
So you think Sox fans would be booing to make it sound like Cubs fans are booing?
Trying to stir it up. You know, I was thinking about it coming to the ballpark today. One of the factors of this game I thought was going to be important was to take an early lead and take the other team's fans kind of out of the game. You know, get them to quiet down a little bit.
Well, the Cubs cannot come through. First and third, 1 out. They do not score. That guy, I don't know if he has a ticket. He probably won't get in. White Sox 1, Cubs nothing. The Cubs with their best chance coming in the last of the fourth, first and third with only 1 out. Carlos Torres got out of it, and Alexei Ramirez smacks one into left to start the 5th. And it is now time for the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Ramirez is 2 for 2. And for one day, the White Sox kind of have to change their mindset offensively. The Cubs don't because they're playing in their home ballpark, but the pitcher is on deck. So, for instance, Ozzie, can't really bunt Dwayne Wise and put Ramirez at second because you have Torres, who's had only one career at bat coming up. Terrio out, Soriano in, long run for Ryan, and he has it in foul territory. Nicely done.
Terrio with a long run over into that Cubs bullpen, makes a leaping catch just after crossing over the foul line right in front of his teammates down there in the bullpen. Nice running catch by the Riot, looking back up into the sun.
Another one up and in, but Torres was squaring to bunt. And you see that a lot. Guys square, pitch goes up. A little testy, however. Pushed it foul, 1-1.
It's one thing, American League pitchers don't ever have to worry about taking a bat up into the batter's box. They can go head hunting and plunking wherever they feel like it when they're playing against American League foes. But in interleague play, they've got to get in the box themselves.
He bunts through it, strike two. Well, you remember Ozzie's comments earlier this year. I mean, basically said, you hit our guys, we're going to hit your guys. And I don't think he said anything that a lot of baseball people don't feel, but as we both know, we've known Ozzie for a long time, he's always going to say what's on his mind. And Torres strikes out. Well, before the game, Lou Piniella, Ozzie Guillen, Ron Santo, Dan Hampton on hand to help kick off the All-Star salute to Special Olympics Illinois here at Wrigley Field. Pat Tomasulo from WGN's morning show. There's Pat, also on hand. One and 0 to Pasednik.
Talking about the hit by pitch, and you're absolutely right about Ozzie's comments. You hit ours, we're going to hit yours. The White Sox have been hit by pitch 51 times this season. The Cubs have been hit 48 times, so not a big difference there. But apparently some of the hit by pitch that the Sox suffered came to key people in key situations and upset their manager.
Well, the only problem, hey, we love the honesty. There's really no doubt what's going on. The problem, though, Bob, is when Ozzie says that, if his guys hit people, I think it leads umpires to go, well, probably was on purpose.
It leads.
Runner going. Ramirez, he took a look back, and the throw squeaks under Terrio. And Ramirez is 1 for 2. He was caught back in the second. Took a quick peek. It might have been thrown out.
It looked like the ball beat him. Yeah, it was a short hop throw, but if Terrio can pick the ball right there, they still get the out at second base. 2 attempts already today for Ramirez, and both times he got a subpar jump at first base. The first time Coy Hill threw him out by a wide margin. That time the ball beat Ramirez to the bag but got through into center field.
Meanwhile, 3-1 on Pasednik, who has doubled and singled. That's ball 4, and it's the first walk given up by Dempster.
Well, and back to the hit by pitch topic, I think you're absolutely right. And Bob Watson, who is baseball sheriff, he's in charge of discipline. If you have comments like that on the record and your team gets involved in some beanball wars, I would think that you're going to get penalized worse than somebody who says, hey, it happens, the ball slipped. But when you come right out and admit you're going to hit other players if your guys get hit, and then to take it a step further, if your pitcher says, yeah, I was throwing at him, you're probably going to get a couple more days added to your suspension and a few more dollars added to your fine.
Bobby Jenks.
Yeah.
Threw behind, was it Michael Young of the Rangers, and said, yeah, I didn't try to hit him, but I meant to send a message. 2 on for Beckham. And outside.
You know, the old, I'm just trying to pitch him inside and it slipped. That always works.
That's on the index card that you get handed. Yeah.
Quotes to use at some point in the future.
Right out of Bull Durham. One and one. Good slider from Dempster. Bobby Jenks. White Sox closer still in the dugout. He'll head down to the pen a little later. 1 and 2.
Good numbers for the young Beckham, but I'll tell you, Ryan Dempster right now is doing a masterful job of keeping that ball away from the middle of the plate, away from the inside part of the plate. We haven't seen much of Gordon Beckham, but it looks to me like he's got pull power, but I'm not so sure he's got power to the opposite field.
Dempster's set. Here's a 1-2. Fastball way up. Going to change his eye level. Ramirez at second, Posednik's at first. Mary Rothschild looks on. Gordon Beckham, the first position player of the 08 draft to reach the major leagues.
Might see a pickoff attempt at second base here. Very casually between pitches, Jeff Baker took 3 big steps to his right, closer to the bag. Now he's going to retreat.
Ramirez comes in, plays the short hop, and fires to Fox in time. They leave 2. Halfway home, White Sox 1, Cubs nothing. Out innings, no walks, 5 strikeouts and a 1.72 home ERA. That's today's Toyota moving forward. Thanks to Toyota. So far, Carlos Torres, 26 years old. He hasn't walked anybody. And he's shut out the Cubs through 4 as Coy Hill sends it deep to right. Dwayne Wise back on the warning track, and he makes a circus catch. Wasn't pretty, but he got it. Backing up into the well.
Well, Dwayne Wise has played a few games here at Wrigley Field. He knew about that well area, and it wasn't the prettiest catch we've ever seen, but it was effective nonetheless. Ooh, very late adjustment right there, spinning to his right to make that catch just before the ball hit the ground.
Dempster was not going to swing at that pitch, no matter what. 0-1.
You mentioned the Cubs have not drawn a walk against young Torres yet in the ball game after he walked 6 his last time out. You have to take at least 4 pitches to draw a walk, and the Cubs have been really aggressive against the youngster.
Way outside. 15th round pick in 2004. Again, he went to Kansas State. Inside, it's 3-1 on the pitcher. 3rd different stint in the majors this season. 3rd start. So he's averaging a start per stint. Full count. At a rain-shortened 5-inning perfect game at Pawtucket. Now pitching for AAA Charlotte on June 18th. Golfed in the air. Posednik over in right center now. Squeezes it.
The Bud Light Concert Series continues. ZZ Top will be playing the House of Blues tomorrow night, brought to you by Bud Light. Tickets are available exclusively at Ticketmaster.com. That's ZZ Top tomorrow night, brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
Our good friends, the Steepwater Band. Huge Cub fans are going to be opening that show for ZZ Top. So make sure you get there early.
Too. Yeah, you want to check out the Steepwater Band.
Kosuke 1 out of 2 in that leadoff spot. Yeah, never easy. That's what Lou says.
Boy, truer words were never spoken. Anybody that's ever sat in that manager's chair at the major league level will tell you that regardless of what it looks like on the surface, it's never easy. I think the best description I ever heard was somebody said it's like a duck. You look above the surface, he's gliding across the water effortlessly, but you look under the surface, he's paddling like crazy. That's what it feels like some days to be a major league manager. Try to keep your cool and give the impression everything's under control, and meanwhile your brain's going 100 miles an hour.
And there is no perfect roster. I mean, if you put 25 All-Stars on your roster, think of the headaches you'd have in terms of guys who don't play. I want to get in there. Never easy. Swing and a miss. They go 1-2-3, 1-0 White Sox. hit. Let's check in on today's Honda Accord game summary. Alexei Ramirez with a big year against the Cubs. 3 go-ahead homers earlier this season for Ramirez. 2 for 2 today. Ryan Dempster, lots of strikes, but giving up an unearned run earlier, and it's 1-0 White Sox. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. Paul Konerko. Strike 1.
Good combination for a potential double play here. Konerko has grounded into his share this year 13 times. He's hit into a double play. Slow runner at first, slow runner at the plate.
The 0-1. Low and away. They have put the leadoff man on 3 out of the first 6 innings. Well, one time they scored, they actually didn't start their rally until there were 2 outs. Got helped by a Jake Fox error on a pickoff attempt. Sprayed foul by Konerko. 2-2. So Ramirez giving them the lead today. He has given the White Sox a lead against the Cubs 4 times here in 2009. Swing and a miss. We're out number 1. Konerko now 0 for 3.
Pitch is up above the letters from Ryan Dempster. I mentioned Konerko grounding into 13 double plays this year. With that in mind, he was probably telling himself, make him get the ball up, and that time Dempster went just a little bit higher than Konerko could handle.
Quentin almost the Jeff Bagwell like kind of sitting on a stool in that right-handed batter's box.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Jose Canseco's batting stance in his heyday. Really hitting out of an exaggerated crouch, like you said, almost as if he's sitting on a stool in that batter's box. And once again, the double play still in order here, and you still have the same slow runner on at first base, and Quentin has not run well at all since spending nearly 2 months on the disabled list with that plantar fasciitis in his left foot.
He's been hitting .406 against the Cubs, but missed the intra-city series earlier this year because of that injury. For 2 today, but a long 0 for 15 that he ended yesterday with a base hit. Well, he's hit .224 since coming off the DL. Jermaine Dye under 200 in the second half. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Alex Rios has struggled since coming over from Toronto.
Hey fans, visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop Cubs.com.
Getz has scored the lone run, and he gets hit. So 2 on with 2 down. That was a fastball from Dempster.
We just showed you a graphic a moment ago that Ryan Dempster's thrown about 2 pitches out of every 3 in the strike zone. His command has been pretty good for the most part today. When he has missed, he's missed down, but that one was right in the rib cage of Chris Getz.
What's the line? Oh, just a pitch that got away from him.
Just got away. Trying to come in, just got away. And now you have to make good pitches to Ramirez, however, a guy that's already had 2 hits in the game, driven in the only White Sox run.
The 0-1 is a strike. Oh, 2 on Ramirez. Cuban missile, they call him. And a fly to right, and it's pretty well hit, but Bradley's back, and he has it. A couple of steps in front of the warning track. They leave 2, bottom 6, still 1-0 Sox. Time now to look at our high-def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. A little City of Chicago pride today. The other flag we hope that's flying out there soon is that W flag. Cubs baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast. Cubs can't get to Carlos Torres. 5 shutout innings and just 3 hits. One and 1 to Ryan Theriot. Derek Lee out. Ramirez moves up to 3. Bradley cleaning up. You have Fukudome leading off. So some parts moving around the Cubs order today. Derek Lee home with his family. His wife Christina gave birth to a boy. We're awaiting the name of the newest Lee, joining older sister Jada. Congratulations to the Lees. Fly ball out into right center, surrounded by Posednik. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. You have an idea for a name for Derek's son?
Yeah, Bren. B-R-E-N.
B-R-E-N.
Or gradual. Eventual.
Beckham looks it in before throwing out Ramirez. How about Brad? Here comes Bradley. As you said, Cubs have not waited around too long in their at bats. Bradley normally does. Tends to work pretty deep counts. One and one. One and two. We've seen Bradley swing and miss at about 4 or 5 pitches already today. Trying to hang in now, down 1 and 2. It's in the dirt. The most patient Cub in terms of pitches per plate appearance is Kosuke Fukudome, 10th in the NL. Bradley ranks 15th. Swing and a miss. He strikes out, and the Cubs go quietly in the 6th. Still 1-0 Southsiders.
Today we're going with the elements: earth, wind, and fire with September.
Wayne Wise, pop fly into left. 1 pitch, 1 out. Oh, here's some more of that. Come on, Bob, sing along.
I can't hit that high note. That's all you, big boy.
I just wanted to dance in the booth. Torres still in there.
And of course, that was today's Bud Light Fan Cam with just the right taste that never fills you up, The difference is drinkability.
Well, why would Ozzie want to take him out? 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs. The 1-1 pitch. Torres thought about a bunt, took a strike instead. Casey McGee with a home run for Milwaukee. And they now lead the Cardinals 4-2. Smoltz giving up 4 in 6 innings. Torres has struck out 3 times, but he's gotten 3 at bats. Which means he's pitched well. We are email accessible, Len and Bob at chicagonow.com. You can also tweet us at twitter.com/Len and Bob. Lane David Abbott, born yesterday to parents Dave and Deborah, at 8 pounds 9 ounces and 21 inches. Dave's a lifelong Cub fan. Family's had season tickets for over 2 decades. Well, congrats to the Abbotts. I think a good nickname for Lane Abbott would be Bud. You can do the who's on first routine. 0-2 to Pasednik, swing and a miss. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch today with Ron Santo.
It is legendary Chicago Cub Ron Santo.
All right, all you wonderful Cub fans, let me hear you loud and clear. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it at the old ball game. Let's get some run.
Seventh inning stretch. Jake Fox leads off the bottom of the 7th. Coming in for Derek Lee today, a strike called.
If you're filling in for Derek Lee today, you got to hit a home run.
Well, it's starting to get late. We're on the 7th already. What was the Yogi line? It's getting late pretty early.
It's late
Along
early
those
out
lines.
there, yeah.
Torres needs to throw a hanging slider.
Or just try to sneak a fastball by him on the inside part of the plate. That'll work too.
The fly ball for Fox, slicing away from Pasednik, and Wise can't get it. It splits the gap. Fox on his way to second. That's a leadoff double. That'll work. He's 2 for 3. And the Cubs are in business.
Well, and that's exactly what Jake Fox need to do from our Southwest Sky Cam. Takes a pitch on the outer part of the plate and goes with it to the gap in right center. If he had his preference, Jake Fox wants to pull the ball from left center around to the left field foul pole, but teams are pitching him away with breaking balls and fastballs. He's going to have to hit a few that way to get him back inside.
Alfonso Soriano with one big performance on his homestand. Hit the game-winning homer against the Mets last Friday. Has seen some stirring down in not only the Sox pen, but the Cubs bullpen as well. That's hit foul. The righty is Octavio Dotel. The lefty is Matt Thornton. Torres gets a sign from Przinsky. The kick in the 0-1 called a strike right on the outside part of the plate. Angel Guzman playing catch off the mound in the Cubs pen. Ball is right beneath Przinsky.
Laid an egg. Didn't find the baseball there. It was fouled straight down at the plate, and AJ couldn't find it.
Well, I know, and AJ is just going to stuff that ball in his pocket and say, oh, I caught it.
I caught that thing.
Pull out another one. Well, you go back to our conversation, I believe, from yesterday in terms of where the lineup is in this spot. 0-2, fouled back. Runner at second, nobody out. But it really depends on the hitter and where you are in the order in terms of what that hitter is trying to accomplish. Soriano is not trying to hit a ground ball to Chris Getz.
No, and you would like to see some kind of a productive out here. Obviously, you'd like to see a base hit to score Jake Fox, but at worst, some kind of an out that would enable Jake Fox to move up to third base.
What a swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for Torres. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Jeff Baker with Fox still at second. Torres painting the outside corner. Looks like his confidence has just grown as this game has gone on. And why not? And that'll get through on the right side. And they're going to send him. Wise is up with it. The throw to the plate is going to be in time to get Jake Fox. That's an aggressive send by Mike Quaddy, but why not take a shot with the way it's been going offensively? And Dwayne Wise comes up with a big defensive play to keep it 1-0.
That's where a productive out by Soriano would have been a huge benefit to the Cubs. This would have scored Jake Fox easily from third base. As it is, you have to send the slow-footed Fox trying to score a run to tie the ball game. You don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get in this game. And Dwayne Weiss throws a rocket to Przinsky, who blocks Jake Fox off the plate for the out.
Ozzy's coming out with Coy Hill at the plate, 2 outs, and now Baker's singled, went to second on the throw. I didn't have a problem with Mike sending him.
No.
The way it's gone today, there's just no guarantee you're going to get that guy in. And Wise has to throw it where he did to get the out. I mean, he had him dead to rights, but how many times do you see a throw just stray up one of the other lines and the guy finds a way to get in?
Or short hop the catcher, take a bad long hop. Anything can happen. And the way the Cubs have been swinging the bats today, I think Mike Quaddy was justified in taking the chance here. Wise throws the ball all the way to Przinski in the air. It was a little bit on the first base side of home, but he's able to make that diving tag at the plate.
So some words of encouragement from Ozzie to his rookie righty, and now it's Coy Hill with Baker in scoring position and a bouncer foul. Now Dempster is on deck. There's no chance he's going to bat unless Coy Hill hits a 2-run homer or something. Lou doesn't want to show his hand just yet. And Dempster at 88 pitches will probably come out and work the 8th if Hill makes the final out. 0-2.
How about base hit right back up the middle? That's something Coy Hill has been doing really well recently, especially when he falls behind in the count. 2 strikes. Just look for something to drive back up the middle of the field.
Really close. 1-2 to Hill.
I think that's a professional courtesy call right there. Eric Cooper would normally jump out of his shoes ringing up a batter on a borderline pitch like that, but Coy Hill's blocked a lot of pitches in front of him today. Maybe gave him the benefit of the doubt on that backdoor slider. This is not at all the Carlos Torres we were led to believe was going to be starting this game for the Chicago White Sox. We were told he had all kinds of command issues. Got jumpy out there on the mound. Really couldn't command anything other than his fastball. He's pitched a great game.
A 1-2 pitch. Another one found near the plate. He has not lost a start at any level since the final day of May when he was in AAA. Last 13 outings. With Charlotte 7-0, and also sprinkled in a save. Two to Hill. It'll be interesting to see what Lou does if Hill reaches. He's got a pretty big bench, and to counter, Ozzie has a righty and a lefty in the bullpen. But first things first. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Torres gets out of it. 2 hits and a close play at the plate, and the Cubs still haven't scored. 7 strikeouts on the day, only 1 walk, did hit a batter, and has kept the Cubs within striking distance. Once again, our AM/PM player of the game, Ryan Dempster.
Too much good stuff.
Thank you, sir. And Beckham with a leadoff single to start the 8th. Cubs pitchers have been excellent the last 3 days. Still no earned runs the last 3 days, but they trail this afternoon. Torres waited for Dwayne Wise to thank him for keeping him in the lead. Brzezinski lifts it in the air, and that's going to get out of play. The other thing for Ozzie, Bob, is that the bullpen, even though they had 3 scoreless innings yesterday, the White Sox pen with a 7.36 ERA on this current road trip. So he might tend to stick with his pitcher a little longer today than normal.
Well, we'll see what happens when there's 1 out in the inning. That's when you'll see some activity in that White Sox bullpen, if indeed they're going to make a pitching change. We saw a couple of guys warming up in that last half inning. They both had a seat here as the White Sox start the inning, but we'll see what happens with 1 out. See if anybody pops up in that bullpen.
Runner goes, and a fly to left. Soriano's over and is going to have room. Little slip, got by him. Beckham on his way to third. He's going to score easily. Brzezinski to third. It's 2-0. Soriano slipped and he couldn't make the catch. And they get an insurance run. And they're in position to get more. It's an error on Soriano.
Nothing I see out there surprises me anymore, Len. You just wonder at what point they're going to pull the plug on Fonzie this season. He's obviously nowhere near 100% with that left knee. And you could live with some of the foibles in left field when he was driving the ball out of the ballpark and scoring runs himself. But offensively, he's been a non-factor for a long time. And a bad defense in left field is going to end up costing a lot of ball games.
So 2 huge errors today by the Cubs. And the infield has to come in with Paul Konerko at the plate. Brzezinski at third after the error. And a base hit. Might be 2, in fact. Soriano over to cut it off, and Konerko is going to hold with a long single. It's 3-0.
A rare mistake today from Ryan Dempster. A belt high fastball out over the plate to Paul Konerko. He made him pay.
Well, a tough day for Ryan Dempster. Victimized by a couple of errors, and he leaves trailing. And we'll be back.
I mean, Ryan Dempster's been the first guy to stand up this year when he's pitched a poor ball game and say, it's my fault I didn't throw the ball well. That was not the case in the game today. He pitched well enough to win this ball game. He's just got no defensive support from his team.
And you know what he's going to say? He's going to say, I didn't do my job after the game. Guzman against Quentin, 1-1. I think the kicking in the dugout will just say it's general frustration with how it's gone. The bubble gum on the cap.
Never gets old, does it?
One and two. Mark Kotze running for Paul Konerko at first. No outs in the inning. And the 1-2 to Quentin is just off the inside corner. We had that one at 101 miles an hour.
Woo. Angel feeling it today. I don't think we've seen a pitch over 100 here on the gun at Wrigley Field.
They do have pitch speed boards here at Wrigley, but they're not really featured here. The fans kind of have to look for them in this older ballpark. So, you know, in some of the newer places at Jumbotron, they've been lighting it up and fans would have been on their feet. But I don't know if a lot of people realized how fast that pitch was. We had 100, they had 97. It's really fast. We know that. 3-2 to Quentin. Kotze runs, swing and a miss, throw to second. They will get him. Coy Hill nailing his second base stealer of the day. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Well, regardless of what happens next year with the Cubs catching situation, I think Coy Hill has put himself firmly in the picture, whether it be as a starter or a backup catcher. Just based on his defensive abilities alone, forget the offensive part of the game. It's tough to run on Coy Hill, period.
Outside on Getz, who's reached twice and scored once. The bottom of the eighth, it'll be a pinch hitter, then Fukudome and Terrio. And it'll be against the starter Torres. Nobody up in the White Sox pen. Torres making 98 pitches through 7. It's tapped foul. And we usually wait till the end of the inning to kind of piece together the earned and unearned runs, but I don't think any of these runs are going to be earned the whole day. Because Beckham, who had singled, scored all the way from first on the error by Soriano, and on that play Przinski ended up at third and he would later score. Two and two. Full count. Cubs Charities benefiting from the second annual Westside Rooters Ball last night. They raised $40,000. Chairman Giovanni Soto was on hand. A lot of his teammates as well. Thanks to everyone who came out and contributed to Cubs Charities. Ball 4. And brings up Alexei Ramirez.
I'll tell you, Len, the Cubs need to find a way to score at least a run in this ball game to avoid their 11th shutout of the season, which would tie them with the White Sox for the second most in Major League Baseball this year. Only the Pirates have been shut out more often with 14.
And it would end what has been a pretty disappointing homestand if they don't come back. Be staring at a 5-5 homestand, and going into it, everyone agreed they had to win 7 minimum, ideally 8 to 10. Getz runs, Hill throws, save. Good throw by Hill, but Getz got a pretty good jump that time. Well, they continue to run even though they've been caught a couple of times.
It looked like the throw beat Chris Getz to second base. Let's take a look at the tail end of this play as he goes in head first. Not sure what happened there with Jeff Baker at second base. He gets to the bag in good shape. Took the throw on a short hop and just couldn't get the tag back to the bag quickly enough. Once again, the ball beat the runner.
And a big lead by Getz at second. Guzman to the plate. Ramirez held up 2-0. Cutter low and outside, 3-0. So final in Detroit. The Tigers, after Cleveland scored 3 in the 8th to send that one into extras, won it in the bottom of the 10th, 4-3. Sacrifice fly by Placido Polanco. And that won it for Detroit. Back-to-back walks, bringing up Dwayne Wise.
As we approach that 9 spot in the White Sox order, they've got activity up in the bullpen again. If Ozzie has an opportunity to pinch hit and tack on some more runs in this inning, I think we would see him pull Torres out of this ball game.
Marshall and Graybo in the Cubs pen. Left-hander Matt Thornton. Jermaine Dye is ready to hit if needed. And look what Ozzie's doing. He's trying to get Lou's attention. Say, I got Jermaine Dye if you want to mess around here. Ball 1.
Yeah, the way Dye's been swinging the bat lately, I'm not so sure I wouldn't take Ozzie up on that. Dye's only 6 for his last 48. That's a 125 batting average.
Well, Angel can't find the strike zone. The latest rally starting after 2 were out. Back-to-back walks, and it's 2-0 on Dwayne Wise. nobody in the vicinity, so Getz can get as big a lead as he wants right now.
Hard to believe Wise is taking all the way here on the 2-0 pitch.
Nope. Swing and a miss.
He's a guy that's hitting 200 on this season. He's walked 3 times in 115 at bats, and I think we just saw why. You got a pitcher out there struggling to throw strikes. You get him backed into a corner, and you chase a pitch like that on a 2-0 count.
Right-hander now, Justin Berg, has joined Marshall and sent Graybo back to the bench. Cracked his bat as he flies to right. Bradley is there for the catch and the out. 2 more unearned runs, and it's 3-0 White Sox. Veteran Marcotte, who pinch ran for Konerko, stays in and plays first. And Torres warmed up, but I don't think he's going to get a chance to start the bottom of the 8th as Ozzy's headed out. Mike Fontenot announced as a pinch hitter for Guzman, and that's it for Torres. And Matt Thornton will come in, and we'll see if Lou makes a change. It's 3-0 White Sox in the bottom of the 8th. has been scored upon in back-to-back games. A couple of earned runs in one inning. Still has struck out 26 over his last 21 appearances for a 1.64 ERA. Faces switch hitter Aaron Miles. So Mike Fontenot burn announced but not used. And Miles trying to snap along 0 for 18. But Torres positioned to get his first major league decision, which would be a win if the White Sox bullpen makes it hold up. Ramirez tosses across and Miles is out. Bob, I think if Reed Johnson were healthy and back off the DL, we would not see Kosuke take this at bat against Thornton.
You're probably right.
At this point, it's either Kosuke or Sam Fuld high in the air. And Pasednik with the catch. Carlos Quentin gave up on that ball pretty early, and center fielder ran about 50 yards.
They actually ran past Carlos Quentin to make this catch.
Watch this. I got it. I got it. Oh, okay. Still got it? Yep. Potts had to get his running in. Well, he's been running a lot today. Here's Terrio. Strike. 97. You don't see many lefties throw that hard. And while the Cubs came in having won their last two, scored 6 runs combined in those 2 wins against Houston. And yesterday, it was one big swing. Derek Lee with a 2-run homer. It's been pretty quiet. Terrio swings and misses. Przinsky picks it up, and that's the inning. Very frustrating day for the Cubs offense. We'll go to the 9th. They're down 3-0. As a lead on 3 unearned runs today. New pitcher for the Cubs is left-hander Sean Marshall, and he's going to face a guy now making his major league debut, their catcher of the future, Tyler Flowers, who bats for Matt Thornton.
Flowers hit .297 between AA Birmingham and AAA Charlotte. 15 home runs, 56 runs driven in 108 games. Was named to the Southern League All-Star team. Played in the Futures games this year down in St. Louis. Went 1 for 2.
Got him from Atlanta last December. And Marshall starts him with a curveball for ball 1. Inside that time on a fastball, 2-0. Outside corner, 2-1. In some ways, for these two teams, and the Cubs don't have a lot of young prospects. I mean, they've had guys they've brought up from AAA Iowa. We've seen many times on more than one occasion this year. But the more those guys play, as that's popped up, Fox over in foul territory, drifts back, still foul as he makes a catch. I guess what I'm saying, Bob, the more at bats Tyler Flowers gets and guys like that, probably there's a less chance that they're going to be in the race. So if you see him getting a lot of starts in the last couple of weeks, probably means the White Sox are too far out of it. Now they do have 6 of their last 9 against Detroit, but with Detroit winning today, right now they're 7.5 back.
A lot of times when you fall out of the race, there's not much left to play for as far as the standings, but there certainly is a lot to play for as far as putting your team together for the future, getting some at-bats for those guys that you want to get a good look at.
Slapped down into the corner for Posednik. That's his 3rd hit. He's been on 4 times. Second double in the afternoon.
I mean, it's not how you would prefer to finish the season. Basically a spring training and an audition for some of the younger players and maybe even some of the older players that you're trying to make a determination on, but sometimes that's all you've got left. That's a nice piece of hitting by Posednik. That slider was down below the knees. Just flipped it down that left field line for a double.
Yeah, you don't really have to look at the records. If you see a game with 2 weeks to go and you watch a team like the White Sox, you don't recognize a lot of names in the lineup. Without looking at the record, you'd say, well, they've either clinched the division or they're out of it.
Yep.
1 strike to Beckham, a young guy who basically just plays every day and may play every day for the rest of his career. Swing and a miss, 0-2 as Hill pounces on it to keep Posednik at second.
I'll tell you, a team that does have something left to play for at this point of the season is Peoria Chiefs. I know they're probably in the clubhouse down at O'Brien Field in Peoria watching the ball game today. They've done a great job under Marty Peavy this year, clinched the second half title, and looking forward to the playoffs next week.
Well, we wish them the best of luck. We'll keep you posted on how they do. It's way outside. Double-A Tennessee Smokies are a game up with 5 to go at second place West 10. So Ryan Sandberg trying to lead his team into the playoffs. That's a base hit to right. Posednik's going to be stopped by Jeff Cox. Good throw by Bradley.
That's the first time we've seen Beckham go to the opposite field. It's a clean single to Milton Bradley. His strong throw to the plate holds Podsednik at third base.
The other thing about young guys, well, what's the old adage, you know, March and September? Those are months that can fool you in terms of what you decide to do for next year. But there are a lot of times when that's all you have to base it on, other than minor league numbers.
You just have to be a little more discerning when you look at the numbers and, you know, make sure that the hits that your position players get in the month of September come against legitimate guys that they're going to be facing in the big leagues. You know, there's a lot of pitchers that have been called up from the minor leagues as well. And sometimes guys can fatten their numbers against young pitchers. But if they're facing legitimate big leaguers who are still in a pennant race and they continue to put up good numbers, then maybe you weigh that a little more heavily.
There's one of those young guys we were talking about, Justin Bird. Trying to make an impression here late. Brzezinski tops it to Fox. He's going to try to flip, and everybody's saved. Got caught in no man's land, and Baker could not get over there in time. This has not been a very aesthetically pleasing game to watch by any stretch of the imagination. I'm being kind.
It's been downright ugly is what it's been. Jeez. I mean, we talked at length at the top of the show, the White Sox defense and how they've let the team down this year. And today it's been the Cubs either with physical errors, mental errors, giving the White Sox multiple opportunities in this game. Caught in between. Jake thought about going home, wasn't going to have a play on Podsednik at the dish. By the time he made up his mind to turn around and flip it to second base, Jeff Baker wasn't there.
I believe that's an RBI fielder's choice. Mark Kotze with runners at first and second. As a Brave last year, Kotze hit for the cycle against the Cubs. Back to Marshall. High throw, Materio on the bag, and he got clipped as Kotze is safe at first. AJ also limping. He and Terrio met up at second base, and both are pretty gimpy. The throw here put Terrio in an awkward position.
Yeah, he had to make sure he came down on the bag, and that put him in harm's way with A.J. Brzezinski sliding into the bag at second. On first look, nothing dirty about it. A.J. going straight into the bag, and as Terrio has to make sure he comes down on the base, that puts him right in line with the sliding A.J. Brzezinski.
Meanwhile, a pitching change. Justin Berg will try to get the final out of the top of the ninth with the Cubs trailing 4-0. Gosh.
Yeah, this is just horrible. I don't want any fingerprints on this shit.
Second career appearance for Justin Bird as he faces Carlos Quentin. 2 scoreless innings against the Philadelphia Phillies back on August 13th. That was his major league debut. Nothing in 2 the count. A.J. Carrasco up if the White Sox add on here. If it stays at 4-0, it'll be Jenks, even though it's not a safe spot. Bird came over from the Yankees in 2005. There's a sinking fastball, a cut fastball, a curve, and a changeup. He's from Antigo, Wisconsin, not Antigo, Antigo. Gets a sign from Hill. And the 1-2 pitch. It's foul over the Cubs dugout. One of the 40,741 in attendance will take that home as a souvenir. Half Cub fans, half Sox fans in that group. Boy, looking around for it. It's at the feet of Quentin. Beckham over at third. Kotze is at first. White Sox have out hit the Cubs 11-5, and the Cubs have committed the only 2 errors. They've been big ones. Terrio, nice play, but the rolled throw is late. An infield RBI single for Quentin, and it's 5-0.
He just couldn't keep his feet. By the time he got the ball out of his glove, he couldn't get anything on that backhanded shovel to Jeff Baker. Ended up rolling the ball across the infield, and I'd say able to beat that relay.
Ball 1 on Getz. Soft liner caught by Terrio, and it's going to be Carrasco, not Jenks, in the bottom of the 9th. 5-0. Our friends at the Illinois Lottery. In the heat of the battle, Ozzie and Lou having a light moment as Ozzie saying, I've got Jermaine Dye if you want to make a pitching change here. Mega Millions can find you every Tuesday and Friday. Mega Millions, have fun responsibly. DJ Carrasco's in against Aramis Ramirez. Also, Alex Rios is now playing center for Scott Posednik. They have changed the scoring on the Przinski fielder's choice. He gets a single. So 4 hits in the top of that inning. That's tomahawked into left for a base hit on an 0-2 pitch.
Carrasco tries to drop down and throw a sidearm slider to Aramis Ramirez on the 2-strike pitch, and Aramis is all over it with a line drive into left field. We'll string a few more together here.
Inside to Bradley. A pop-up foul ground. And no play for Przinski. Cubs' next opponent, the Mets, are in Colorado today, leading 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th. They got the Jason Marquis for 5 in 5 innings. Pat Mish into the 6th. 2 hits, no runs. Still working. They're in the 9th in St. Louis. It's 4-3 Milwaukee over the Cardinals. Matt Holliday hit a homer in the 8th. So a chance to pick up ground as the division leaders and the wild card leaders. Bradley strikes out. They're both trailing. Jake Fox with 1 on and 1 out. At the outside corner. In on the hands, 0-2. Nobody in the American League has thrown more innings out of the bullpen than DJ Carrasco. 78 innings on the year. 1 hopper. It goes 4, 6. Safe at first. A double clutch by Ramirez, and the Cubs barely have life. 2 down here in the 9th.
A slowly hit ball cued off the end of the bat of Jake Fox. It looked like a tailor-made double play, but Ramirez tripped himself on the bag at second, giving Jake just enough time to leg it out.
Swing and a miss on a slider. Oh, 2. The pitch struck him out. As he flailed at a breaking ball low and outside, and the White Sox shut out the Cubs today 5-0. Very disappointing end to a homestand that everyone agreed was a pretty critical one for the Cubs, but after going 5-5, not a whole lot of hope right now in the playoff race.